Hello financial fans, 2022 goes into the record books or whatever books it goes into, it is gone. This is the last trading day of 2022 and the results for me just today, my portfolio was down 0.46%, almost a half a percent. And the S&P 500 was down today only, it was down 0.25%, so the S&P 500 exchange traded fund beat me today. And the Dow Jones Industrials, DIA is the exchange traded fund, Dow Jones Industrials, was down 0.22%, so the DIA beat my performance today, and NASDAQ beat my performance today. It was down only 0.11%. But for the year to date, am I ahead of the S&P 500 or is the S&P 500 ahead of me? Let us take a look. My portfolio for the year, this has not been a good year, 2023. The trading results for the year are finished and I am down 17.78%. 17.75% my portfolio is down for the year. SPY, the S&P 500, is down 19.35%, so I did beat the S&P 500. QQQ, that's the NASDAQ, the total NASDAQ, and QQQ is down 34.1% for the year, so I'm ahead of them. And the IOO, which is the 100 NASDAQ biggest companies, the IOO for the year is down 17.32%, so it did finish the year better than my portfolio. A slight difference there. They're down 17.32% and I'm down 17.78%. And the diamonds, the Dow 30 for the year had a loss, but it looks like a gain, almost 7.74% down. So the Dow Jones Industrials, the DIA exchange traded fund, did much better than most of the indexes and certainly better than my portfolio's performance. And we're going to take a look now at some stocks that the year 2023 is going to start trading, I guess, on Tuesday. And the thing that will happen is everybody will be making their predictions of what type of stock is going to be the stock to be in for the New Year's, and maybe Ford's would be one of those stocks that the company, the car, and the stock itself. Ford Motor Company, symbol F, has some interesting numbers here. $11.63 was the closing price today, and that was up 0.75%, and after hours up another penny to $11.64 per share. Column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $10.61 per share was the low, and $25, way up there, $25.87 was the high for the past 52 weeks. And the volume, the average volume, 57 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be undervalued. And we all know what Ford is, what it does, and what its potential is. The beta, 1.41, that means whatever direction the stock market is going, this will be going the same direction probably, and it's going to be going about 1.5 times as high or low as the market in general is going. It might be a good thing for you to have a high beta stock, it might not. PE ratio, 4.93. That is a very low PE ratio. Low is good for a PE ratio. The forward dividend and yield, a little over 5%, 5.2% is the yield, and that's a good yield. Most of the time it's unfortunately not enough to catch up to inflation, but it's still a good yield on the stock. And the 1-year target estimate by the experts at Yahoo, 1-year target, $14.63. That would be a nice move upward if that should happen. Next, we look at Pfizer. Pfizer's been around for a long time. That's a pharmaceutical stock. PFE is the symbol. $51.24 per share was the closing price today, and after hours it went up 3 cents to $51.27. 52-week range, the column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range. $41.45 was the low, and $59.80 was the high, so it's pretty close to being in the middle there. Average volume, about 21 million shares trade every day of Pfizer, and this stock is considered to be near fair value. The PE ratio is slightly under 10, which is where I like to see the stocks being under 10. 9.82 is the PE ratio. Earnings per share, quite good, $5.22 per share they're earning, and the forward dividend is you only have to put out $1.64 to get a very modest return of 3.2% on your dividend. And 1-year target, $55.49. That seems like that would be something they could be capable of doing. Next, we look at Suncor Energy. SU is the symbol. Closed at $31.73 and went up after hours 4 cents to $31.77. 52-week range, $24.67 was the low, and $42.72 was the high, so it's got a lot of headroom there, and some people might be holding on to it until it gets back up to the $42 mark, which would be very beneficial to people who might buy in at today's price. The average volume, a little over 5 million shares, 5,344,000 shares trade on an average day, and this stock is considered to be near fair value. The PE ratio, 7.74 for Suncor. Earnings per share, $4 and a dime, which is more than enough to pay that dividend of $1.52, and that will yield 4.86%, about 5% dividend payment there. And again, that's not enough to keep up with inflation, but it's better than getting nothing. 1-year target estimate, $39.83, just about $40 is the estimate for a year from now, and that certainly would be a big increase if that should happen, and we're lucky enough to be holding it at that time at today's price. Last, we look at the dog of the Dow, Verizon Communications. VZ is the symbol. It was up a penny today, $39.27. And the 52-week range, $34.55 was the low, $55.51 was the high. The average volume, about 25 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be near fair value. The PE ratio, 8.54. The forward dividend and yield, $2.61 is how much they're giving out per share, and it comes out to 6.65, a nice dividend payment. But again, unless they get control of inflation, you're falling behind with a 6.65% dividend. 1-year target estimate, $45.25. And I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a great and happy and successful and prosperous new year.